everybody, BMeister22 here. Hey, I had a great day yesterday. I got home, I got 2 packages. Okay, one I was sort of expecting, but one I wasn't. I'm not going to do an opening here. I already did an opening in a different video, which I will post on my site. But we'll talk about the best one first, I guess. A friend of mine, Cats, what are you doing? I'm trying to make a movie. A friend of mine, Jay Doggers, sent me some ancient Roman coins. These are in little coin things, kind of you might have seen in some of my videos. It's little coin holders. Ancient Roman coins. These coins are older than I am. These coins are older than Mr. Hollick. Let me tell you. They're older than me and Mr. Hollick put together. This I'm looking at here, 307 to 337 AD. I mean, that's old. This coin right here is labeled 103 BC to 76 BC. I mean, that's an old coin. I thought the coins I had from 18-something were old. These are really old. Okay? There's that. The other package I got when I opened it up, I'll do an unboxing for this. It'll be on my page eventually. Somebody sent me a comb. Okay? Aha, I get it. Send the bald man a comb. I get it. So today I'd like to talk to you about comic books. Comic books, yes. Funny books, okay? When I was a kid, I really didn't collect comics. I had 1 or 2 comics that I'd get, like, you know, at Christmas or birthday. And I got for Christmas one year, they were a thick, like ½ inch thick. They were comics based on the original Star Trek TV series with Captain Kirk and Spock and all those guys. Adventures they went on. And I read comics that belonged to my uncles. You know, they had like the war comics with a, you know, Sergeant whatever the heck and World War II comics. And they were pretty good. I always liked like Tales from the Crypt and little scary ones and everything. And I'd read those. But I didn't collect comics. When I was older and in the Marine Corps, one of my roommates collected comics. So I kind of got into it. So I'd go down to comic book shops with him down to Palm Springs, and I'd buy a couple things and started collecting. I told my parents about it, and they said, "Oh, you know, that's not a bad hobby. You've had worse hobbies." So they set up a box for me at a local comic book shop. And by local, I mean back home. And they gave the owner of the shop a list of books I was interested in, comic books. And every month he would slip them in there before he'd ever put any on the shelf to make sure I got mine. And then once a month my parents would go and pick them up. Every once in a while, the shop owner would slip something in there that he thinks I might like, you know, drumming up new business. If I liked it, I'd say, hey, keep giving them to me and I'd pay for them. If I didn't like them, I'd make sure he knew because I didn't want, you know, feel obligated to, you know, hey, I'm not interested in that. And if he had extra things, he'd slip it in there for you. Hey, no charge, don't worry about it. So that was good. He was, you know, building good customer rapport with me. So from Southern California, I go overseas for a year and a half. Well, more like 19 months. I'm in Japan and Korea and other places, and I'm still collecting comics here or there. My parents are still getting these comics every month. Every once in a while they would send one to me, but basically they were just being stacked up in a box for me. You know, I like, if I can't read it and enjoy it, I'm not going to have comics. That's the point. You know, mine were all, I tried to keep them good, but they were touched. I read them, and that's the point of having a comic book. If you want to read it, then you get 2. You take one, you always seal it in plastic, take the other one, and you enjoy it, okay? So I'm in the PX one day, and there was some Batman comics. I don't like Batman, never have. I don't like superhero comics, period. Well, Robin gets killed. Oh my gosh, Robin's killed. So I said, this is going to be worth something someday. It was a 4-part series. I got all 4 of them, paid like 75 cents each for them. Anyways, I get back stateside. I had never been to this comic book shop before. They didn't know who I was. So I'm in there looking around and taking things off the shelf, and I go in the older section, and by older I mean things, you know, 10, 20 years old, really not, you know, here's something for 50 cents, here's a buck, you know, nothing fancy. I look for things I like to read. Collecting is one thing, but I want to collect something I can read, that I can take out, hey, I really like this, hey, take it and read it. So I go up there with a small stack of comics there to buy, you know, probably a whopping $1.75 worth. And right there in the rack, they had some of those same Batman comics I had. And these are all wrapped in plastic. And one had like a $175 price tag, one had like $75, one had $85, and $135. And I asked the guy behind the counter, who, as it turns out, was the owner, you know, are you selling many of these? You know, well, we sell some. And I said, but are people really paying that price for it? That's the price I'm asking. Yeah, are people paying that price? Hey, that's the price. He was very rude about it. And I was only asking this because a mere 3 months prior, I was over in Japan buying these brand new for 75 cents. And he was kind of upset. I mean, just, Yeah, I don't remember the exact words. He didn't like tell me off, but he was not happy that I was saying, hey, this is what the prices are. You know, how dare you question it? So I, pay for this. Is that all? I said, box 1473. And he stopped, walked over to box 1473, and he brings out a stack of comics like this, and gives them to me with a bill, and I pay for it. Well, at that point, I had been up to probably $50 or $60 a month worth of comics from this guy. His attitude changed awful quick when he realized who I was. I was a name and a number on a box. He never saw me, didn't know who I was. I came in out of the blue, asked him some questions, which upset him, and then he realized I was a loyal customer for a year and a half. And then out of nowhere he says, yeah, I got boxes and boxes full of these comics in the back. They're not selling. Well, I'm glad he fessed up to it, but it was too late. I was polite about it. I never went into the comic book shop again. I had my box canceled. He lost all my business. The point is, customer service is important. As they say, if you have a good experience at a business, you'll tell 2 or 3 people. But if you have a bad experience at a business, you will tell anywhere from 9 to 12 people. Myself, I will tell 20 to 50 people. Ask my friends. They'll tell you.